Okay, so we'll now move to item 6, which is the road safety oral evidence from the Motorcycle Action Group. We're welcoming Mr. Martyn Boyd today to our committee. Good morning. He's the Northern Ireland representative for Motorcycle Action Group, and joining us remotely is Mr. Colin Brown, who is Director of Campaigns and Political Engagement from the Motorcycle Action Group.
They invited us.
And we actually think that we may have been listened to for a change.
And I didn't care if I didn't like it.
I've heard you loud and clear. So thank you so much for your evidence session today.
I'm talking this morning to Martyn Boyd. Yesterday, Martyn and I were given the opportunity to speak to MLAs in Stormont in Northern Ireland about motorcycle safety from a rider's perspective. And we actually think that we may have been listened to for a change. So, first of all, let me introduce you to Martyn. Martyn, do you want to just give us a quick introduction who you are and how you came to be invited to Stormont?
Hello, yes, I'm Martyn Boyd. I'm the Northern Ireland representative for MAG, and I was invited to Stormont through persistence. And this is something that I would say to all riders and any reps and activists. You have to persist. They invited us because I kept badgering them over the years. We appeared before a very influential committee of MLAs in the Northern Ireland Devolved Assembly, the Northern Ireland Assembly Committee for Infrastructure. Now, in Northern Ireland, different to GB, we have a department for infrastructure, an overarching behemoth department who have responsibility for many things, including responsibility for all roads in Northern Ireland and everything to do with roads. Local councils in Northern Ireland have not a thing, no responsibility for any roads. So this giant of a department, they have all responsibilities for roads, road safety, road maintenance, everything. And as well as, civil engineering, infrastructure, etc. So, and this committee, the Committee for Infrastructure, they're like a overarching governance committee. So they have influence and they can strongly suggest or perhaps empower the department officials to do things. So talking to these people was actually quite an achievement and very worthwhile.
This sudden overnight success has been the result of years of hard work by yourself, hasn't it?
Yeah, I was assisted in that, in getting the invitation. I was assisted by some of the elected representatives who are on the committee. The deputy chairman, for example, John Stewart, he's an MLA for East Antrim. And Stephen Dunn, who's an MLA for my local area of North Down. And they were influential in having the invitation issued. And they have been very helpful over the past number of years in helping me to raise awareness of motorcyclist issues. I would say to other reps and activists and any riders, use your elected representatives. Remember, they work for you. Use them.
Building a relationship with somebody in the elected role over a period of time, it does bring results. It may seem soul destroying when you have to keep on chipping away at it over a long period, but as yesterday's meeting shows, that eventually it can create a situation where you can have a genuine influence on the way that policy is formed and decisions are made.
Well, hopefully that will be the result of yesterday. You don't need to be their friend. You don't need to be buddies with them. A forthright, honest relationship is the best, I find.
You did a good job of buttering them up initially by praising them for things like the blanket access to bus lanes that motorcycles get in Northern Ireland.
We've had universal bus lane access since 2005. And this great big behemoth department, the Department for Infrastructure, its predecessor was called the Department of the Environment. And at the time, they actually advocated that motorcyclists should be permitted to use the bus lanes on grounds of safety and traffic flow efficiency. The public transport body, they had no objection. In fact, they also supported that notion, as did the police, as did the other emergency services.
Whilst you did sort of like applaud them for past decisions, you didn't hold back when it came to the question as to how well they had engaged with us in terms of the latest road safety strategy. So do you want to just take us through what was your response when you were asked about the engagement that we'd received?
My response was, no, they didn't listen to us. And those who didn't listen to us is the Department for Infrastructure, the officials of the department.
What do you feel was the level of engagement and input between your group and the department into that road safety strategy?
We submitted a comprehensive submission to the road safety strategy, and I have submitted to you a copy of that. Mm-hmm. And not a single item of it was incorporated in the draft strategy. Nothing of it, not a thing, which is intensely disappointing, because I'd spent a lot of time engaging with the DFI on remote stakeholder engagement meetings, and actually I have a log of all the engagement that I have had with the DFI, which is reasonably extensive, but not a single item of what we suggested was incorporated, or even not even any kind of hint that we will do those things in time. Nothing. Just completely ignored. And even the first copy of the draft strategy that was published did not have a single photograph of a motorcyclist. Yet it's supposed to be road safety for all road users.
Yeah.
A couple of years ago, the Committee for Infrastructure instigated, or the Minister for Infrastructure at the time, instigated a review of road safety strategy in Northern Ireland. Excuse me. And again, through persistence, we had been recognised, we had gotten to be recognised, accepted by the Department for Infrastructure as a go-to, as a stakeholder body with a voice for motorcyclists. That took some time to get them to recognise us that way. But so we were invited to take part in the review on the online, because it was during pandemic time, the online public engagement sessions, and I attended them all, and you attended a couple as well, Colin, and also a very detailed, substantive written submission on the motorcyclist's perspective on road safety issues and things that we believe should be implemented in a new strategy that would be of no detriment to any other road user, but would improve things for us. But not a single item that we submitted was given consideration. Nothing was included in the strategy that eventually arrived. And when I complained very bitterly, very forthrightly to the department and the committee and anybody who I could complain to, the department, all they could say was, well, this is the first stage because of budgetary constraints, and we hope to implement other items at another stage, but they could give no indication as to when. And when I asked them, well, you're implementing things like training for tractor drivers. Why not? Why can't you include a few things of what motorcyclists need? But they had no answer. So it just enhanced the feeling of they don't care about us. They keep denying that. But as I kept pointing out, and as I pointed out yesterday, as you know, we are an officially designated vulnerable road user group. And that means the Department for Infrastructure has an obligation to pay extra special attention to our safety needs, just as they do for pedestrians, cyclists, and equestrians. But they don't seem to do that. We just seem to be ignored. So I just said that straight to the committee, and I didn't care if they didn't like it, because it's the truth.
I'd be interested to hear what your view is, but I certainly came away from the meeting with the feeling that, yeah, we had actually cut through. We kind of got to the point where they were beginning to understand that, there's something amiss here.
I mean, we fielded questions from every single member of the committee. There's 12 members of the committee, and some of them asked some quite challenging questions, very pertinent questions, and it told me that they had all read the documents that I had submitted in advance of the meeting, because some of the questions were taken straight from what they had read from those documents and wanted clarity or wanted an answer or wanted, more information, which is very good. And the chair of the committee, she made great eye contact with me and spoke very positively towards me. And I got a feeling that they actually really listened to us this time.
It's quite rewarding going into a meeting, giving a group of people a good beating and being thanked for it at the end.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, I gave him. I mean, it was the knockdown and build up. I told them what I thought of the performance. The thing is, it's not those MLAs that issue is with. It's with the department that they govern. It's with the officials. As I said, one of the things about potholes, they're the criteria the department use to decide what potholes need to be repaired needs to be reviewed, and we accept that their budget is constrained. We're not asking them to spend more money or try and find more money. We're just asking them to think about spending it more wisely, and that, as I kept pointing out, as you know, work on the principle of, if you make a road safe for a motorcycle, then it is safe for any vehicle. And as I also pointed out, the roads in County Antrim that comprise the Northwest 200 road racing circuit, and I'm quite sure many motorcyclists all across the country know about the Northwest 200 road races. Those roads are maintained to that policy. They maintain those roads so that they're safe for racing motorcyclists. And if you drive or ride on those roads any day of the week, the services are great. So why not do that for every road?
Yes, that is a very pertinent point. Like I say, when it's something that they recognise as a benefit, because obviously there's a good understanding that there's this road racing that takes place, and that's good for the economy. It brings people in. It gets recognition for Northern Ireland and everything that it has to offer. So in those situations, they can find the logic and the money to make sure that the roads are safe for that event. But then it kind of points to the fact that they don't hold the same level of esteem for motorcycling when it is a more mundane just form of transport that people are using, despite the fact that it's entirely legitimate. It would be good to have that level of interest and care transferred from the racing into the actual normal man or woman riding a motorcycle every day to get to work.
There's an understanding whenever it seems to be that they have an understanding when they want to have an understanding for whatever incentive, but generally they don't seem to. And again, it's the old story. There's virtually no one in any decision-making position within that huge department who has any perspective, any experience or knowledge of motorcycling. Yet we are here, and I have continually told them, we are here to provide that for you, to help you to understand. You've just got to ask. But I have never been proactively approached from that perspective. "Oh, hello, Mr. Mag. We're thinking of doing something on the roads. Could you give us a perspective from motorcycling so that we can make an informed decision?" Never happened.
The meeting itself, certainly I walked away with it for thinking that this could be the beginning of something great. So what's your level of expectation in terms of what happens next? I mean, obviously, like I say, you get that initial warm feeling of a meeting that seemed to have gone well, but realistically, what can we expect to happen as a result of it?
I actually don't know. What I would hope would be that, if it's true that the Northern Ireland Road Safety Review strategy is going to be implemented in a couple of stages, that when the next stage is being implemented, which would hopefully be soon, that at least some of our input is in there, because nothing that we proposed is of detriment to any other road user. Of benefit to motorcyclists, but absolutely no detriment to anybody else. And so I'm hoping that this committee can use their influence to get the Department for Infrastructure to actually include some of our needs and wants, some of our desire list into the next phase of the Northern Ireland Road Safety Strategy.
It's important to point out here that yes, you and I got to sit in front of these people, but we weren't just representing our own opinions. We do ask other riders what matters to them, and I think that's an important message to get out in this video as well. Is that the more riders that engage with yourself in Northern Ireland, obviously Mag UK wide, the more that we hear people's views, the more that you tell us what matters to you, the more we can actually then, we've worked hard to get the connections made. We can get invited to Stormont or to other parts of the decision making apparatus in other parts of the UK. There is the genuine opportunity to have your voice heard, but we need obviously riders to engage with us to tell us what it is that matters to them and what they want to see the outcomes to be. So, a totally shameless plug for people to join MAG, follow our Facebook pages, speak to us, and help us to actually achieve the best outcome for everybody.
Yeah, I mean, there's possibly an advantage for Northern Ireland in this because everything to do with roads is devolved to our regional assembly. We decide what we do with our roads. Our assembly can say, right, we're doing this. Like the issue with the steel wire and post central reservation barriers that we talked about in the meeting yesterday. Northern Ireland led the way on that. It was our efforts that got our Department for Infrastructure to finally accept that that apparatus is lethal, hazardous to motorcyclists. And whilst it's impractical to rip them all out, which we'd love to see, but it's absolutely impractical. But Northern Ireland then brought in changes to the rules of procurement for roads infrastructure, and that apparatus will never again be installed on any road that needs a central reservation barrier that is being funded post January 2021. And those rule changes actually pass through to the rest of GB. So Northern Ireland led the way on that, as with universal bus lane access. And I have provided all the documents, all the rationale for motorcyclists to have bus lane access. I've provided those to MAG and to other representatives to help them fight in their local region and use Northern Ireland as the blueprint. Hey, an entire devolved region of the United Kingdom thinks it's a good idea to allow motorcycles into bus lanes. Why does Trumpton not think it's a good idea?
So, like I say, you're an overnight success that can single-handedly change the fortunes of motorcycle safety for the entire country, if not the entire planet. So we should all thank you.
Well, I'm happy to do it. membership in Northern Ireland is small, perhaps compared to other regions. I run a Northern Ireland Mag Facebook page, and almost all of the followers of that page, they're not Mag members. There's about 350, 400 regular followers, and most of them are not Mag members. But when I put information up, it gets around. And although they're not Mag members, I take the view that, like a trade union, you work for the members, but the knock-on benefit to non-members is there as well. And perhaps when other non-members see these knock-on benefits and see what this body does, then they might join. And that has been the case with a few. They've joined on the strength of, oh, look what MAG does.
Well, thank you very much for your time this morning, Martyn. I shall leave you to go on and shake your fist at authority in Northern Ireland, and hopefully we'll have more news in terms of a better road safety strategy coming out of Northern Ireland in the not too distant future.
Well, I would just say to any other activists who are watching and listening, or any motorcyclist who wants to take up issues, use your elected representatives and don't take no for an answer. Don't let them away with slippery answers or non-answers. Be forthright, be honest, be straight up, but be accurate and factual. Tackle them. Like I said earlier, you don't have to be their friend, but try not to be their enemy. Be someone they know who is straight talking, and use them.
Sage advice. Thank you very much, Martyn.
Keep her lit.
We really enjoyed the evidence session today, which is evidence of the fact that we've run over time. But
Yes, I realise that.
But look, we just want to thank you for both coming to our committee today as well. We do appreciate it because it does help our understanding and our scrutiny of the road safety strategy. We really do appreciate it, and we've heard you loud and clear. So thank you so much for your evidence session today.
And yes, I get a positive feeling that we have been listened to, and our perspective has been taken into account, for which I'm very grateful.